Silence, all stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court, please draw nigh, give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Ashley May Bailey.
May it please the court, I move that my sister Ashley May Bailey be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ashley May Bailey be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madeline Page Bosler.
May it please the court, I move that Madeline Page Bosler be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Madeline Page Bosler be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ling Jia Chen.
May it please the court, I move that Ling Jia Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ling Jia Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tennille Elizabeth Chester.
May it please the court, I move that Tennille Elizabeth Chester be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tennille Elizabeth Chester be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jonathan Su Ren Chu.
May it please the court, I move that my son Jonathan Surin Chu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jonathan Su Ren Chu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Samuel Chu.
May it please the court, I move that Samuel Chu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Samuel Chu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Elizabeth Selak.
May it please the court, I move that Anna Elizabeth Selak be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anna Elizabeth Selak be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kate Ballantyne Cross.
May it please the court, I move that Kate Ballantyne Cross be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kate Ballantyne Cross be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ivana Kugal.
May it please the court, I move that Ivana Kugali be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ivana Kugal be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Natalia Jane DiStefano.
May it please the court, I move that Natalia Jane DiStefano be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Natalia Jane DiFastano be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Byron Alexander Graham Dixon.
May it please the court, I move that Byron Alexander Graham Dixon be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Byron Alexander Graham Dixon be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tony Doe.
May it please the court, I move that Tony Doe be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tony Doe be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Joseph Nicholas Elhaj.
May it please the court, I move that Joseph Nicholas Elhad be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Joseph Nicholas Elhaj be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alex Chen Hao Feng.
May it please the court, I move that Alex Chin-Hao Feng be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alex Chen Hao Feng be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Atifa Gassemi.
May it please the court, I move that Asifa Bassani be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Atifa Gassemi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
George Lochinvar Glenn.
May it please the court, I move that George Lochinvar Glenn be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let George Lochinvar Glenn be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lachlan George Ha.
May it please the court, I move that Lachlan George Ha be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lachlan George Ha be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stephanie Rose Hannah.
May it please the court, I move that Stephanie Rose Hannah be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stephanie Rose Hannah be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nancy Imad Harb.
May it please the court, I move that Nancy Imad Harb be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nancy Imad Harb be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
William Maddox Holmes.
May it please the court, I move that William Maddox Holmes be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let William Maddox Holmes be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dania Ibrahim.
May it please the court, I move that Dania Ibrahim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dania Ibrahim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zaina Jaburi.
May it please the court, I move that Zina Jaburi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zina Jaburi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michelle Renee Gillett.
May it please the court, I move that Michelle Renee Gillett be admitted as a lawyer to this honourable court.
Let Michelle Renee Gillett be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alexa Catherine Curry.
May it please the court, I move that Alexa Catherine Curry be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alexa Catherine Curry be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nikhil Kudlip Parambil Remanan.
May it please the court, I move that Nikhil Kudula Parambil Remanan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nikhil Kumdili Parambil Remanan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jason Law.
May it please the court, I move that Jason Law be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jason Law be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Vivian Lynn.
Please the court, I move that Vivian Lynn be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Vivian Lynn be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kate Marie Luffman.
May it please the court, I move that Kate Marie Loughnan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kate Marie Loughnan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shran Law.
May it please the court, I move that Shern Law be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sean Law be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Matthew Joe Munjapani.
May it please the court, I move that Matthew Joe Manjapani be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Matthew Joe Munjapani be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Johanna Holly May.
May it please the court, I move that Johanna Holly May be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Johanna Holly May be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amelia Lauren Milgate.
May it please the court, I move that Amelia Lauren Milgate be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amelia Lauren Milgate be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sarah Elizabeth Phillipson.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter Sarah Elizabeth Phillipson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sarah Elizabeth Phillipson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Claudia Alexandra Pitt.
May it please the court, I move that Claudia Alexandra Pitt be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Claudia Alexandra Pitt be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alana Grace Pollard.
May it please the court, I move that Alana Grace Pollard be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alana Grace Pollard be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rihanna Kimberly Natalie Ramajo.
May it please
please the court, I move that Rihanna Kimberly Natalie Ramandro be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rihanna Kimberly Natalie Ramaho be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ashley Jade Richards.
May it please the court, I move that Ashley Jade Richards be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ashley Jade Richards be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sarah Jane Rosamond Ryan.
May it please the court, I move that Sarah Jane Rosamond Ryan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sarah Jane Rosamond Ryan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zihao Shao.
May it please the court, I move that Zhao Shao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zihao Shao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabella Jane Strapp.
May it please the court, I move that Isabella Jane Strapp be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Isabella Jane Strapp be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dominic Anton Stribic.
May it please the court, I move that Dominic Anton Stribic be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dominic Anton Stribic be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Karen Jia Lin Wang.
May it please the court, I move that Karen Jailin Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Karen Jialing Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Eliza Charlotte Wentworth.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter Eliza Charlotte Wentworth be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Eliza Charlotte Wentworth be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lachlan Gary James Woods.
May it please the court, I move that Lachlan Gary James Woods be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lachlan Gary James Woods be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shun Xing Kenneth Wu.
May it please the court, I move that Chun Xing Kenneth Wu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shun Xing Kenneth Wu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sliu Yan.
May I please the court, I move Liu Yuan, my partner, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Si Liu Yuan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Chen Draw.
May it please the court, I move that Chen Zhao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Chen Zhao be admitted as a lawyer of this court. There are now a number of persons who've been admitted already who are being live streamed. So I will recognise their admissions by reading their names. And note that they've completed a special process for admissions in absentia. The names of these: Abu Bakar Bangura, Ling Sam Jung, Shao Chen Lao, Alfred Lawrence Oppi, Aperv Ranjan, Linwei Song, Shi Yang Wong, Haibing Wong, Zong Zhao. It will be now necessary for the applicants whose admissions have been moved to stand and remain standing for the purpose of swearing an oath or making a declaration. Please stand as directed by the officiating officer.
Could rows 1 and 2 on my right please stand? Ashley May Bailey, Madeline Page Bosler, Ling Jia Chen, Tennille Elizabeth Chester, Jonathan Su Ren Chu, Samuel Chu, Anna Elizabeth Selak, Kate Ballantyne Cross, Ivana Kugel, Natalia Jane DiStefano, Byron Alexander Graham Dixon, Tony Doe, Joseph Nicholas Elhaj, Alex Chen Hao Feng, Atifa Gassimi, George Lochinvar Glenn. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? I do. Thank you. Please sit down. And could rows 3 and 4 on my right please stand up? Lachlan George Haar, Stephanie Rose Hannah, Nancy Imad Harb, William Maddox Holmes, Dania Ibrahim, Zena Jaburi, Michelle Renee Gillett, Alexa Catherine Curry, Nikhil Kulaparambil Remanan, Jason Law, Vivian Len, Kate Marie Luffman, Shran Law, Matthew Joe Munjapani, Johanna Holly May, Amelia Lauren Milgate, Sarah Elizabeth Phillipson, and Claudia Alexandra Pitt. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Please say, "So help me God," or "I do." Okay, please sit down. And could the 2 rows to my right please stand up? Alana Grace Pollard, Rihanna Kimberly Natalie Ramajo, Ashley Jade Richards, Sarah Jane Rosamond Ryan, Xiao Xiao, Isabella Jane Strapp, Dominic Antoine Stribick, Karen Jailin Wang, Eliza Charlotte Wentworth, Lachlan Gary James Wood, Chun Sing Kenneth Wu, Silu Yuan, Shen Draw. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Please say, "So help me God," or "I do." I do. Thank you. Please sit down.
Now that the formal part of the proceedings is over, the court wishes to recognise that it is Remembrance Day and to acknowledge the sacrifices made by so many which are commemorated on this day. It's almost exactly 11 o'clock, an appropriate time to acknowledge this. I invite everyone to stand and observe a minute's silence. Yes, thank you. Please be seated. I now warmly welcome you all to the Supreme Court of New South Wales. I'm Justice McFarlane of the Court of Appeal. On my right is Justice Adamson of the Common Law Division, and on my left is Justice Meek of the Equity Division. Together we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you to practice. We've done so sitting on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years, The court pays its respects to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. To all the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. Welcome also to those of you today who are watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends has been invaluable. No doubt you've also been on the receiving end of they've also been on the receiving end of your finely polished, or at least developing, skills of argument and persuasion. I encourage you to take the time to thank them. Depending on how good an advocate you are, you might even convince them to shout you lunch or perhaps dinner to celebrate the day. We know how hard you've all worked to arrive here. It's a memory that unfortunately you'll never forget. But for most of you, your journey has also involved 2 extraordinarily challenging years affected by the challenges of the pandemic. You've managed your legal studies with this additional adversity, unprecedented in our lifetimes. That makes your achievements all the more impressive. The resilience you've developed will stand you well in the future. In being admitted as a lawyer of this profession, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. This court first admitted lawyers in 1824, and by 1830 the names of lawyers were entered onto rolls in this state, as yours will be immediately after this ceremony. It is to acknowledge the weighty responsibilities you are assuming as lawyers that we observe today's unique formalities, including the moving of your admission by someone who is already a member of the profession, and taking a formal oath or making an affirmation in the presence of your family and peers. They are all witnesses to the promises and undertakings you've made today. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation you've just made is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice or at the bar or in a community legal centre, a Crown Law Office or a government department or agency, or in an entirely different field, you should be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice. And you must strive at all times to uphold these values. Admission as a member of the legal profession is a privilege and not a right. I referred earlier to tradition and formality. You will see from the portraits on the walls of this court that we are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, as were worn by our predecessors. Symbolically, that highlights the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. As to the continuity of the rule of law in a world where there's much global uncertainty and insecurity, the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply a phrase of some theoretical import. It is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. There's nothing theoretical about that. Notwithstanding the formality and tradition associated with this ceremony, and not everything in the profession remains unchanging, COVID-19 brought a rapid shift to increased use of virtual courtroom technology to ensure access to justice continued in the midst of the pandemic. We're proud of what was able to be achieved. As well, we salute people in professions, especially the medical, nursing and educational fields, who did so much for our community throughout the pandemic. Returning to the legal profession, the technology impetus brought about by the pandemic has also delivered greater workplace flexibility, which is especially important for lawyers with family responsibilities and in regional and remote communities, and has profound implications for how our legal system interacts with and may become accessible to many more people. Although the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and deal with each other. Thus, whilst the remote practice of the law may be possible, it is far from desirable. There are, of course, other changes that deserve attention in addition to those brought about by the pandemic. When we think of the diversity of the legal profession, we encounter the reality that we have come very far, but that much still remains to be done. For example, although women were originally not permitted to practice at all, since 2018, women have made up more than half of all solicitors holding a practicing certificate in New South Wales, and currently make up 64% of solicitors under the age of 30. Some of the most senior positions in the law in Australia, including the current Chief Justices of the High Court of Victoria, Queensland and the ACT, as well as the President of our Court of Appeal, are distinguished female lawyers, as are the current Commonwealth and State Directors of Public Prosecutions and the Senior Public Defender in New South Wales. As well, I note that women hold the positions of both President and Senior Vice President in both of this body's state's professional bodies, the New South Wales Bar Association and Law Society of New South Wales. There should also be strong representation of lawyers from many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates and judges is important because it is integral to legitimacy and to ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can and feel that they can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflecting of our broader community. The admission ceremonies on which I've sat since becoming a judge 14 years ago, including this ceremony, highlight that there is far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice near to 50 years ago. That is a very good thing, and leaders of our profession and the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity. That in turn builds trust in and respect for both the judiciary and the legal profession. You, the newly admitted lawyers, enter the profession at a time when, more than ever, your words and actions are capable of influencing what occurs. You are being heard and taken seriously when you agitate to correct injustices, whether it be speaking out about unfair laws, systemic failings affecting our society's most vulnerable members, or about harassment or bullying. You are the future of the profession and will determine where it heads. The legal profession is one rich with opportunities, and I urge you to engage with your communities outside the law. Your training as a lawyer in systematic thought, the importance of matters of principle and fundamental fairness, including due process and natural justice, equip you very well for service beyond day-to-day practice. You will also derive great satisfaction from such engagement. Let me now offer you some advice. As a lawyer, you'll often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not to compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and to the administration of justice. One mistake you must not make is to give your clients the advice you think they want to hear. That will not be good nor ethical advice. Justice Gageler, before he was a High Court judge, once said, quote, "You must be prepared to give the same answer to the same questions for the same reasons, no matter who asks the question or for what purpose or in what context the asking may occur." That is what you must aspire to. Being a lawyer means that you are an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but the law as it applies to people's lives. An individual in need of your services as a lawyer is in most cases an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial position. For these reasons, you must always strive to deliver legal services sensitively, competently, and fearlessly, but always with courtesy and integrity. In this context, I wish to emphasise the importance of civility Aspects of the law, especially if you are involved in the litigation side of practice, are confrontational. The practice of the law can be stressful and demanding enough without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load. It's essential that you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you are members of a profession and not a business. And remember this, the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and judges could also use that reminder from time to time, I'm afraid. For a non-lawyer, the law is often incomprehensible. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make law accessible to others, particularly the vulnerable, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, at other times by deciphering poor legal drafting, and sometimes by doing both. Strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking. At various points in your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, some more serious. We all make mistakes, especially when we're starting something new. Needless to say, try not to make the same mistake twice. That's a starting point. When you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. In the practice of law, your physical and mental health are both extremely important. There may, and I dare say, will be times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. You must work hard to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it, frankly we all do from time to time, take a step back and recapture some perspective or suggest gently to your colleagues that they do so. Also remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession, and in times of difficulty, the support and friendship of your peers will prove invaluable. You should also not be afraid to seek professional help if needed. Let me now invite two young lawyers as representatives of the New South Wales Bar Association and Law Society, who were in your shoes not so very long ago, to add a few words of welcome. Mr. Hawili.
May it please the Court. My name is Mahmoud Hawila, and I've been practicing for 2 years at the bar, predominantly in criminal law. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession, based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to changes in practices and technology, and most importantly, to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the compositions of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds, and you are welcome, either straight away or after some time as a solicitor, to apply to come to the bar. It is an honor to be a lawyer, and in my case, a barrister. And I am very proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job, and that allows me to give expert advice to and represent people in court, and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If you are interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its website on the steps to take. And there's also a Career at the Bar Open Day, with the last one held in October. To become a barrister, you must pass the bar exams, satisfactorily complete the bar practice course, and reading requirements in your first year at the bar. In terms of the support available in your first year of practice as a reader, you have 2 tutors who are barristers of 7 years seniority, who meet with you weekly, review your work, and teach you practical skills, whether by appearing with them in court or otherwise. The bar is also renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers, so you are not isolated or alone. The New South Wales Bar Association is a professional body that supports barristers, and it has several committees within it, including, for example, a new barristers committee, which organises social and educational functions for barristers of 0 to 5 years seniority, like me. A Wellbeing Committee, which runs seminars on health and well-being, promoting balance between work and other parts of your life. And a Diversity and Equality Committee, of which I am a proud member, that promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual preference. Whether as a lawyer or a barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or the Bar Association, and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession, and I congratulate you on your admission today as a lawyer of this honourable court. May it please the court.
Thank you, Mr. Huela. Ms. Sporowski, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Taylor Sporowski, and not very long ago, I stood where you are standing today. And what a day it is. You are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect, and it's definitely not always easy. It can be overwhelming. But as I stand here today, after 6 months of working as a solicitor, I can tell you I've already learned a thing or two. One of the most important things I've learned is the importance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and one to which you now belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is the home of that community, with our 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. We are bound by our shared duties, commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, and our drive to give back to our communities and uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. That's why I've been a part of the Law Society's New South Wales Young Lawyers branch for nearly 2 years now, as I joined as a law graduate. Here I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance and support when I needed it most, as well as opportunities to advocate and join committees. By joining the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, volunteer opportunities, and much more. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as a newly minted solicitor, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. So again, congratulations to you all. Do look us up or speak to your employer. We look forward to welcoming you into the Law Society community. Remember that it is your profession to better and to shape. And I wish you all the best in that pursuit. May it please go.
Thank you, Ms. Sporowski. Well, I'll just make these final closing remarks. The law is a wonderful profession, stimulating, challenging and satisfying, and populated by intelligent, committed and dynamic people. I better exclude present company, but you should be proud to be a lawyer and of your achievements to date. You should remain proud to be a lawyer. It's a very important profession and you're now a very important part of it. A legal career is one that can take you in many different, interesting and rewarding directions. Hold your heads high and the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead. On behalf of all the judges of the Supreme Court, I once again congratulate you on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.
I was just looking.